Welcome to Yoga Express. I'm having a little technical difficulties. I think we're okay. I'm just gonna go grab my secondary source to make sure we're alive because I messed up already once. But in the meantime, while I'm getting situated, please have a seat, get comfortable, and find a spot that works well for you that you can just comfortably be in for about 2 minutes. Well, that's our plan for right now, and then I will be with you very shortly. Okay, we are wonderful and we are good. We are all set for another yoga time together. So, if any of you don't know, I was at the Boston Marathon yesterday. Not running, believe me, not running. But it really gets you thinking about all the stress that these runners put themselves under to complete their goal. Some people that I saw were doing wonderful and great, having a relatively wonderful time and completing the course, going on with their day. And other people were really struggling physically and mentally to complete the course. Some people finished, some people didn't. Some people listened to their bodies and did what their bodies told them they needed to do, whether they were having tight hip flexors, problem calves, whatever the situation is, and they said, you know what, for my safety, I'm gonna stop. And they pull over, they get the help they need, they get the bus route back to where they need to go, and everything's great. And then you have the other people that are physically in pain, but they refuse to stop. They're not listening to their body. They put so much effort and thought and preparation into this one event, and the thought of them not being able to finish just crushes them. So it's a nice, I don't say nice, it's an interesting thing to think about on days like today where people are recovering from whatever they did over the weekend, marathons, etc. So we're just going to use this as a time to kind of collect, refresh, reflect, and stretch. So we are going to get started actually standing on up. So I'm trying to think, what would the event be for you that it doesn't matter how much you're hurting, that you're going to continue? And I'm not talking about like saving your firstborn child from underneath the car type of situation. I'm talking about marathon, long walks, bike rides, things like that. Pan Mass Challenge. What things do you think are so important to you that you will do literally move heaven and earth to finish, even though you're crawling across the finish line? Let's bring those arms back and relax. And if the answer is no events, you know what, that's perfectly fine. I don't think there's any events that I would do of that I can think of right now. After seeing these people in so much pain. And then bring those hands to the front. Not everyone was in pain though. So no matter how much you prep and train, some things just happen. Sometimes you just twist an ankle. And turn. And turn. And of course, there's a difference between twisting an ankle at mile 2, twisting a mile at mile 22. Come back to the center. Bring those hands back and down. And let's bring those hands behind and lean forward. Bend those knees. Hands go up behind you. And release. Bend one knee. Straighten the other leg. And switch it out other side. And just go back and forth between those, straightening one leg, bending the other. And then rolling on up. Nice. And slow. Taking my second layer off so you can kind of see what's going on. All right, let's have our hands at our heart center, and let's just do a little bend and come back up. Little bend and come back up. And each time we're going a tiny bit deeper if we want to. Next time, come down, twist, and come up, and then go down and twist the other way. Next time, come down to one side and hold it here. And come on up and switch sides and hold. And come on up. One big circle, other big circle. One big circle, other big circle. Let's reverse it. Switch, and switch, and switch. Draw those arms out, shake them out. Come to the middle towards the back end of your mat. Bring those arms up if you want to do a little back bend. You can. And then let's swan dive down. Touch those toes. Roll up. Two more. Little back bend if you want it. Swan dive down. Roll it up. One more. And roll it down, and then walk those hands out and come into a downward dog. So kind of a weird way to get there today, but that's okay. We're pedaling those feet. And then coming to stillness. And then drop those knees and arch that back and concave that back. So we're into our cat-cows. Do one more of each, then come to a nice neutral spine. And let's just kick one foot up and come back and switch it out. So we're alternating donkey kicks. And let's switch to hydrant kicks. We're coming out the side and back in. Trying to not lift the rest of the body. Hip only on one side. One more each leg. And then push it back and push it forward. And let's go clockwise around in a big circle. And then switch directions. So we're getting some wrist movement here, in addition to the movement of the shoulders and the hips. And then coming back to a neutral spine. Take one leg back, kick it super far up, and then bring that knee in. Hold, 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 and then put that foot on the ground. Come on up. Hands on the hips, lean it forward. And then come back. I'm going to turn and face you. So we're here. We're going to lift one arm. We're just going to lean over to the side. Challenging our balance. And then bring that hand down. Other side. How does that feel? Ooh, one side versus the other. And down. And then straighten that front leg. And do a nice little hamstring stretch while we're here. And then bend that knee. Come back in very center. Take the other leg up, kick it back nice and high. And then bring that knee in and hold, hold, hold. And then put that foot on the ground. All right, coming on up. So let's take an arm, let's lean over the side. And the other way. Come back to the center, straighten out that front leg, and roll down. And then come back to the center, back to our tabletop, just a little side to side. Any movement that feels good, and then we're going back into our downward dog. So tuck those toes under, downward dog. All right, lift one leg up, back, behind. Bring that knee in, hold, hold, hold. And then put that foot on the ground. Rolling it on up. I'm sure you have an idea what's coming here. We're doing that same thing, just in a high lunge. Feel the difference. If you need to drop down, that's totally fine. So we're here. We're gonna bring one arm over. And release. Other arm over. And release. Straighten that front leg. Toes are going to stay on the ground. And lean it down to wherever you feel is the place that you need to stop today. You may need to stop because that's where your body's telling you for balance or flexibility or both. Roll up. And let's bring those arms in front and bring them down. And let's come back to downward dog. Lift that other leg up behind you. Bring that knee in and hold, hold, hold. And then put that foot on the ground and roll it on up. Find your balance point. First arm up and over. Second arm up and over. Come back through center. Straighten that front leg. Feet stay on the ground. And lower down. Come on up. Bring those arms in front and bring them back down. Come back to downward dog. And we're going to find some stillness here for 5 breaths. Relax into the posture. And then drop those knees. Forearms come to the ground, forehead comes to the ground. Glutes stay up nice and high, puppy posture. 5 breaths. And then roll it on up. Turning sideways on your mat, getting your hair out of your face. We're gonna have my right knee is gonna be bent. My right forearm is going to be on the ground. My left leg is going to be out. My left hand is gonna be, or left arm is gonna be straighter. It doesn't have to be completely straight, but it's not bent like this arm. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift that leg up. We're gonna bend that knee and we're gonna push diagonally behind us. So if I was going straight behind me, I'd be here, but I'm going diagonally, so I'm going up to the side corner. So relax your head and neck, and let's get back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's come down. Other side, stretching out. You should feel a nice activation of those glutes here. All right, so the other arm is down. The leg is out. We're gonna lift up. We're gonna bend that knee and we're gonna push back behind and up. Ready? 10, 9, relax the neck. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Beautiful. Sit on back. One foot, one leg is in front, the other one's behind. We're sitting up. Most of our weight's going to be on one hip. Although if you can put the weight on the other hip too, that's wonderful and great. Hand, so this is my left leg, this is my left arm. You can reverse it, not a problem. Let's push up and back down. 9 more. Really pushing those hips forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more. We're going to hold the last one. And come up and hold. Really push those hips forward. Stacking shoulders on top of shoulders and looking back or up, relaxed. And release it down. Other side. It should be some nice, good full body stretches here. All right. Adjust. You ready? For one, I find it a little bit easier if I stay a little bit more towards the middle of my mat so I can use this as support so I don't slip. And come up For 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. We're going to hold in this last one. And 10. Come up, hold, shoulder on top of shoulder. Push those hips forward. And then release. All right. Bottoms of the feet together, please. We're just going to rock a little side to side. Find the position that feels good for you today. And then having a nice straight back, lean forward. Two more breaths. And then bring those knees in. Stowing yourself so you're not all the way on your mat. And lower yourself down for some happy baby. Let's do one leg at a time. So one leg is coming up. You grab on the inside of your foot, your big toe, your calf, whatever feels good. You can also use a strap here. And just relax your other leg on the ground. And I want you to bend and straighten that leg. I want you to work on stretching out of the hamstring a little bit. Rock side to side, do some circles, whatever feels good. You can also grab on the outside of your foot if that feels more comfortable. You don't want to put straight on your toe. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So the same thing. Hopefully you can grab it in a similar position. I like to do the legs separately and then together, because sometimes it's a little harder to play when you're doing both sides at the same time. Too much to concentrate on. All right, let's do both sides together. Let's lift those legs up, and if you want to rock, forward, back, left, right, pedal those feet, whatever you want. This is your expression, your time. Here for 5 more breaths. And then releasing those legs nice and slow and coming down to the ground for our one and only spinal twist for today's class. You decide, are your knees stacked on top of each other or are they crossed over? You decide. And twist. I'm going to do the full thing, so I'm going to have my hands in my field goal cactus shape, and I'm going to turn and face the other direction. You don't want to, you don't have to. And slowly release and come to the other side. Release. One final thing, if you want to go for a long shavasana, go there now. You can shavasana the whole class if you want. All right, bring both those feet up into the air. Bring both those hands behind the head And we're gonna come up and we're gonna rotate towards one knee and back down. And then to the other and back down. I want you to squeeze that belly button into the spine. I don't want any farting noises coming out of your low back from it when it hits the mat. If this feels good and you want to take your hands away and reach towards those ankles, that's fine. You decide what you need for your neck today. But we're gonna go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop those knees, give them a little circle twist. Switch directions. And then straighten those legs out for Shavasana for 2 minutes. Wiggle those fingers, wiggle those toes. Bend one knee in, bend the other knee in, and turn to the side. Give yourself a big hug here in this fetal position. And use that top arm to slowly push yourself up into whatever position is comfortable for you. Final neck exercises, turn and face one way. Come through the center, turn and face the other way. Come through center, drop that chin. Come up and then point that chin up and forwards. And back to the center. Thank you for coming to Express Yoga with me today. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. And I'll see you later.